Hey guys, it's me, Magic the Joker from Kingdom 1576, and I'm here today with a new guide, well, an updated guide for free-to-play players and which epics to prioritize. I made a video like this in the past, but I was less experienced, and I think I would do things slightly differently if I had to do them again. Before I start, I just want to go ahead and say that we have a small sponsor, which is Fallen Shadow, who's making a Jumper Alliance. He was the king of his previous kingdom, and he's got a lot of experience in Kingcraft. The Discord for them looks really solid. And honestly, if I were to start a new jumper, I would join a jumper alliance such as this one to have a better start in the beginning and to really get off the ground running as a free-to-play player. So you guys should give it a look, and you guys should PM him if you're interested in things like, starting a new account, being a free-to-play jumper. A lot of people will come into my Twitch or my Discord, and they'll be like, I'm 500,000 power, I'm 2 weeks in, what should I do? This is an opportunity for you guys to join a jumper alliance like what I suggest, and this will really flower into a lot of good opportunities for you as a free-to-play player. This is something you guys should be looking at. So, Fallen Shadow, hashtag 7885. I'm going to put his Discord PM link in the description below. Now we're going to be looking at what epics you should expertise and level up and in which order and why you should. So first we're going to be looking at Joan of Arc. So Joan of Arc is always, like, even in my previous list, she was my number one because she's so good in Sunset Canyon and she gives you that solid 25% gathering speed. I think she's awesome, and because you're going to either be farming or doing minimal combat early on, or if you're doing combat, it's going to be solely to buff your allies. Joan of Arc is a great choice. I think that as a free-to-play player, she is your number one choice. If you weren't free-to-play, you'd probably be looking elsewhere, but if you're here, you are free-to-play. Your number two is going to be Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu is pretty amazing. He's probably widely considered to be either the best or the second best epic in the game. He's great for war, he can defend your garrison, he's good for Shadow Legion, Expedition, Sunset, I mean, you name it. Whatever can be done, Sun Tzu could probably do it. For a third, so in the previous videos, I generally say go for Boudica if you started Britain and you swapped into Germany. Although, I think Boudica's skill is great, and I think that early game she's fine. I think that 90 sculptures that would have to be put into expertise her, generally, could probably just be naturaled, and you could probably start investing into Kusunogi. I think Kusunogi is pretty amazing. And since you're a free-to-play player and you're looking for YSG as your first expertise for a legendary commander, Kusunogi is a great primary for YSG, especially early game. So I think that getting him as your third expertise, he's going to come in right around the time where you're going to be looking at YSG coming in at a usable format. YSG is usable at 5511. So your fourth one is going to be Scipio. So with Joan of Arc as your primary in Sunset Canyon, this especially for Sunset Canyon, since you're a free-to-play player, you're not fighting in the open field, so you're mostly looking at how can you keep Joan of Arc alive long enough to keep dropping buffs while still having the rage to do buffs, right? So the support tree gives you good rage regen, so you're going to be getting the buffs out as fast as you can, and the only real tank that a free-to-play player has is going to be Scipio. Scipio reduces damage taken by 25%, and that's huge. And because his total timer for reducing damage is on 5 seconds, just like Joan of Arc's ability that's in 5 seconds, you're looking to have both of those buffs on for extended periods of time. After Scipio, I'd be looking at Osmond the First as a secondary for Sun Tzu and Sunset. I think it's pretty good. He gives you extra troop cap, and it's just an absolute ton of damage between Sword of Osmond, Rising Empire, and his expertise. It's just an awesome amount of damage. You put Sun Tzu in your backline, he's doing some work. After Osmond, I would say Eulogy. I think Eulogy is actually really good, but I personally didn't use him because I was not as experienced in Sunset as I should be. Because at the end of the day, like in Sunset Canyon, you're generally going to want to flank as a free-to-play player. I mean, I might make a video on this separately, but the point of why Eulogy is good is because if he gets swarmed, he gets good benefit out of it, and that is from this skill right here. So when he's attacked, he has a 10% chance to get 100% damage buff when he's expertised, and that is great in Sunset Canyon because if you're using him to flank, he's always going to be swarmed by 2 or 3 marches. So you put him, you put probably like a tanky legendary, someone who also likes getting swarmed, something like Julius Caesar. Of course, this is later in the game. You have 5 marches. Your 6th expertise is probably getting closer towards the mid game for a free-to-play player, and that's why I would suggest him for your 6th. For your 7th, another person that I have not expertised would be Pelagius. And I think by your 7th expertise, you're probably looking at having Cao at 5-1-1-1. So you take this guy up to 5-1-1-1. You run Pelagius as your primary. You run Cao as your secondary. You have something that you can go pick up either farmers with, or you can try like small scraps around KVK 2 or at the tail end of KVK 1. I'd be very careful with how you consider to fight in the open field as a free-to-play player, but if you have Cao at 5-1-1-1 and you have Pelagius expertise, you can try and dip your toes in it. I would advise against it, obviously, but at the end of the day, this is a war game, and some people aren't looking to fully optimize their account and they want to have some fun, and Pelagius as your 7th expertise is really not hamstringing you in any way. As a little bonus section to this, I would like to add Kira. So Kira, epics you should focus on. Not an epic you should focus on. I just want to cover her because I think she should be covered. Kira is good because she is an AoE barb hunter, which means she can chain barbs, which is exceptional for free-to-play players. So get her to 5-1-1-1, and then you're done. You're done with Kira. She's really good, honestly. I think she's great, and I think she's a great expertise. And I think she's probably really strong. But at the end of the day, it's not reasonable to expertise her. I mean, the amount of sculptures it would take to expertise Kira and the amount of Ceroli Crisis currency it would take is absolutely astronomical, and you should be spending it in speed-ups, equipment, teleports. I mean, literally pick anything that isn't Kira, okay? Get her to 5-1-1-1, and then she's done. Basically permanently, unless they overhaul the way Ceroli Crisis works and how expensive she is, then you should only take her to 5-1-1. I hope this guide helped you guys. And if you have any questions, you can always hit me up at the Discord link below. Again, if you guys are looking for a jumper alliance, Fallen Shadow and his jumper alliance looks really good. I'm going to add his Discord DM below. And then if you guys ever want to see me live, I'm live right now, actually. You guys should hit me up at the Twitch link below. Thank you for coming out, guys, and have a great one.